Okay, we're here to review step number 62 of the 67 steps. This one was called the $20 billion gift from strangers and building forgiveness into the land. How to build systems that persist. One of the worst things that can happen to you in life is having success and then losing it. You could call this the Mike Tyson effect. At the peak of his boxing career, Mike Tyson had $400 million and then lost all of it and had to declare bankruptcy. And you want to avoid the stress of that and always be going forward in life, of course. You know, if you make $1 million a year and then your income drops to $100,000 a year, you'll freak out. Although $100,000 a year still seems adequate, through the contrast bias that we learned about in the 25 cognitive biases, you'll be unhappy because your mind will think that you're on the decline. And again, happiness comes from being on the rise. You know, in AA, they have this saying that once you're an alcoholic, you're always an alcoholic. Maybe that's true, maybe not, but certainly a little bit of fear can be okay and healthy. Warren Buffett personifies this by keeping $20 billion in the bank. He says, I keep $20 billion in the bank so I don't have to invest in the kindness of strangers. If he wants to buy a company, suddenly he doesn't have to rely on investors to give him some capital so that he can go ahead with that purchase. And you know, Joel Salatan says you have to build forgiveness into the land. On his polyface farm in Virginia, sometimes it doesn't rain for weeks or months at a time, and Joel can't have his crops die, so he had some ponds installed onto his farm so that he can still water his plants even during a drought. So you should adopt this double redundancy system into your health, wealth, social life, and happiness. And for your health, what you should do is keep your body weight 1 or 2 pounds under weight so that when Christmas or Thanksgiving comes around and eat a little bit too much, you still have some wiggle room to stay at the correct body mass index or correct body weight. You know, with the in the wealth pillar, you should have 3 times your monthly income saved up, so that in the case that you can't work for a month or two, you'll have some wiggle room in that area and be able to still pay your bills. You should also have at least two sources of income. Warren Buffett has 93. In the social pillar, you know, Ty says you should give gifts to friends just because, not just on their birthday and not just on holidays. You know, you build forgiveness into the land of friendships. So if you're ever in a crisis, they'll be there for you. You know, another example is call your childhood friends up and just see how they're doing. Not asking any favors, but you're building forgiveness into the land of your social life. In the happiness pillar, Ty says go to comedy clubs once a week, give to charity, you know, because the energy you put out comes back to you. And he says most people have a very thin band of forgiveness in their lives. You must be resilient, and this will give you green grass even during a drought. And his questions for you at the end of this episode were, what's an example of not having enough forgiveness built into your physical body, and what can you do to change that? What's an area of wealth you don't have enough forgiveness in? And how are you growing equity in your happiness account? Thanks so much. See you on a review number 63. Take care.